Hello everybody and welcome to Attica High School, where we have a first round matchup in the Attica Boys Holiday Tournament coming up for you. Attica hosting Letchworth, with the winner moving on to play Perry in the tournament finals. My name is Alex Brasky alongside Nate Ryder of the Batavia Daily News, here to bring you through tonight's action. Nate, we had a great game last night between Alexander and Perry, featured several lead changes, great effort from both sides. And I hope we see the same thing tonight.
Yeah, like same as last night. You got two teams that aren't familiar with each other. They don't play each other often. That's kind of why I like some of these little tournaments that teams do when they get out of their league, and and that's what we saw last night. It took a while for Alexander and Perry to feel each other out, and it turned out to be a great game. And probably the same tonight with these two teams. Letchworth's going to have the advantage in size, but I think a lot of it will come down to the guard play of Attica. Frankie Bichelli and Aiden Gall have been playing very well, and you might see them do a couple different things here to try to exploit that. And both teams are playing well. Attica's 2-1, Letchworth 3-2, and we should be in for a good one.
As you see, the starting lineups being introduced. We're minutes away from tip-off. Letchworth, enduring one of its best seasons in recent years, 3-2 already, scored 80 points earlier this season against defending sectional champion Mount Morris. And I spoke with head coach Jeff Hopkins after that game, and he says his team is simply trying to bring this program back to respectability.
Yeah, with longtime coach Six McMullen, and this was a proud, great program, and they've fallen on hard times over the years, but like you said, they've had some good wins this year. Keshiqua and Mount Morris. They lost a close one the other night to Oakfield, lost by 1. And, or they could be, 4-1 right now. And I can't remember the last time a Letchworth team had 4 wins. And Attica started the season off with a tough loss at Bergen, but came back with wins over Holly and Alexander. So this is their first out-of-league contest of the year. So, let's see what we're in for.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors before tip-off, beginning with Windy Brew, Western New York's first custom beer maker center. Also, Bubba's Landscape, taking care of all of your plowing needs this winter. And Affordable Floor Covering, 4152 West Main Street, Batavia. Stop on down. Their waterproof flooring, gloves, pets, 0% financing is available. So here we go, getting ready for the tip. Here we go. We'll get the clock going for you. Apologize, we're a little bit behind here. As Letchworth starts with the first possession of the game, Will Bean driving the lane, but it's bobbled and Attica comes up with it. Aiden Gall now leading the charge for Attica. Frankie Bichelli in the corner. This Attica team likes to shoot it, as Aiden Gall takes it right to the basket. You'll see Attica really rely on their shooting in this game, Nate. Not a very well-sized team going up against a Letchworth team with an abundance of size.
Yeah, and we did talk to Rob Crowley briefly last night, and, Rob said he was going to try to exploit his guard play. He thinks that's where their strengths are, and probably can use them in the paint a little more than they're used to, and we see that right off the bat.
There's the lob inside to Shearing, and Will Shearing gets Letchworth on the board.
And there's Letchworth size showing its size right off the bat.
Good kick out there. Inside to Bichelli, but he loses it. Oh, it looked like that was out of bounds off the wiring, but no call from the
Usually
officials.
That is an out of bounds, or it should be.
Nice drive there from Brett Vasile, but it's an offensive foul. Good positioning there from Adam Bukowski. Sophomore for Attica. So about 6.5 minutes to go. We got a tie ball game between these non-conference opponents. Attica sitting at 2-1 to begin the year. Lost a lot from last season, but are hoping for another good season under head coach Rob Crowley.
Looked like Gall got hit on that play, no call. They're letting him play early on.
Wow. Bean with a long three. Nothing doing and not even close.
Looked like he tried to draw a foul there. It didn't look like he got touched.
Kind of a questionable look there. Aiden Gall, nice pass inside. Unable to finish was Nicholas Pearl. But Pearl is fouled on the rebound.
Like you said, slow start with these two teams, kind of like last night.
Get a blood timeout. What is this, wrestling, Nate? Blood timeout. Blood time. So here we go. 2 shots coming up for Nick Pearl. Looking to give Attica the lead once again. Knocks down the first. Pearl 2 for 2 from the line. 2-point lead for Attica. Just under 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Oh, nice interior passing from Shearing to Vasile, and Letchworth ties it up once again. We have the makings of another back and forth affair here, Nate.
Yeah, both teams are using their strengths. Attica's using their guards, and Letchworth keeps going inside to the big men.
Rebound from Shearing off the jumper from Bishelli. Bean looks ahead. Nice pass to Vasile. Unable to convert on the layup, and fouled on the rebound is Johnny Mertzak, sophomore for Letchworth.
You can see Attica coach Rob Crowley is not happy that Vasile got all the way back there, or I believe Mertzak might have gotten all the way back there.
And you saw Aiden Gall leave for Attica with that blood on his leg, kind of a monkey wrench into things for Attica early on as you lose one of your best players early in the game. But I'm sure he'll be back shortly as Shearing with the short little lay-in gives Letchworth its first lead.
Shearing is just owning the paint early on.
Nice stop and pump fake, but Bukowski unable to convert on that.
He didn't get the block.
Bean pushing it ahead, and Vasile unable to convert on that layup. Jimmy Cole on defense, but there's Bean with the steal. Looked like it could have been a foul on Cole, but Bean comes up with the steal, goes to the basket. 4-point lead for Letchworth.
And that's what Bean can do. He can shoot from the outside, but he's a slasher, and he's probably the quickest one on the floor tonight.
Andrew Kuzmano with it now, a junior for Attica, over to Tyler Meyer. Bukowski to Bishelli. Pearl, back to Bishelli, stops, pops, but looked like Mertzak got all ball there, but official calls a foul. Might have gotten a little bit of the hand after the ball.
A little bit, but usually in high school you won't really see that. To me, it looked like he had the majority of the ball.
Cardinal sin there. You never want to foul the jump shooter. That'll send Bishelli to the line for 2.
Did your dad teach you that one?
Dad taught me a lot, Nate.
I bet he did.
All right, so here we go. Second one coming up for Bishelli. Missed the first. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Makes the second, and you can see disappointed that he missed that first one. Not something you see very often. Frankie Bishelli missed a free throw.
No, he's a fantastic free throw shooter.
Cole with it now. Looking for room, kicks it to Beans, swings it over to Nick Eustace. Eustace for 3. Short and off to the right. Here's Bishelli leading the charge now for Attica.
Looked like a carry on that, but.
Oh, and a bobble there, and Bishelli throws it out of bounds.
Sloppy first 4.5 minutes here for Attica.
Bean surveying the defense. Almost lost it there. Swings it over to Cole. No good. Nice rebound by Bichelli. And another turnover from Bichelli. Eustace, nice pump fake there, but calling for a travel. I don't know about that one, Nate. I think he did put it on the floor.
It looked like he did, but it looked a little awkward, and I think that's what the ref probably saw.
And that's a good point. A lot of times you see those officials on that play, that little pump fake and go, you see them kind of anticipate that call. Here's Meyer with it, top of the key. Eric Romesser now in the, or I'm sorry. Ian Romesser in the game for Attica. Eric, obviously, the Attica athletic director, his father, but Ian Romesser now in the game. But Aiden Gall with the and one, and he'll go to the line for one with a chance to tie it with 2:46 to go. Gall is an impressive player and only a junior.
Yeah, he's been their best player throughout the first 3 games here. You know, and we've seen Bichelli tonight kind of struggle. It's unlike him, but he'll more than likely get it going.
High ball game once again. We've seen Letchworth kind of go away from Shearing on the inside. You wonder if they'll get it to him here. But no, they go for the 3 ball, short, rebounded by Ian Romesser.
And that, Alex, has allowed Attica to get back in this game because Shearing was just controlling that inside.
Meyer drives now. Nice block from Jimmy Cole. And now Letchworth will look to push. Dean trying to split some defenders and kind of out of control, but Attica called for the block. It's a tie ball game here. 2:05 to go, first quarter. We've already seen 8 players in the game for Attica, but I think only 6 for Letchworth. Bean with an off-balance look. Nice rebound there from Eustace as Romesser wasn't able to secure it, but he throws it away. And now it's Attica with possession. Got to make sure you grab those rebounds and secure them. You can't leave those up to chance.
No, you can't let the smallest kid on the floor out-rebound you. And here he is going for an easy layup.
So Eustace on the board, an errant behind-the-back pass from Aiden Gall. Kind of a questionable decision there. Leads to the Eustace wide-open layup. So we're under 2 minutes to play. Letchworth back in the lead. Inside to Gall. He's stripped. And now it's the big man on the charge. Looks ahead to Eustace. And another layup. That's good from Eustace. Getting ahead of the play, recognizing when his team's about to be in transition and putting himself in position for those transition layups.
And they've done that a couple times tonight, and every time I've looked over, and Attica coach Rob Crowley is not pleased with his transition defense.
I think that's just a testament to Eustace, how he's leaking out of there. He's really getting out of there right at the time of the turnover. Tough for Attica to change direction that quickly.
Yeah, the second he senses there's going to be a turnover, he's gone.
So under a minute to play, 4-point Letchworth lead. Gall steps back, and Romesser gets it inside to Pearl. Too many turnovers for Attica in the early going, Nate.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping track, but that is a lot of turnovers and something you usually don't see from a Crowley coach team.
Drew Dunbar is checked in for Letchworth. You see him in the corner there. But Bean takes it all the way to the rack. Beautiful take from Bean. And that'll do it. First quarter comes to a close. 6-point Letchworth lead. We'll take you through our sponsors once again, beginning with Windy Brew, Nate's favorite
Love my Windy Brew.
Custom Beer Center, Western New York's first custom beer maker center. Don't forget the beer lover on your Christmas list. I know what I'm getting Nate come next Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it is.
Don't kid yourself. You're not getting me anything.
Gift cards in any denomination are available. 733 Route 28 in Strikersville. Also, Bubba's Landscape. We have all your plowing needs. We'll do it all. Set up your snow removal contract today. Shoveling, and salting also available. Happy holidays from Bubba's Landscape. Last but not least, affordable floor covering. Their waterproof flooring loves pets. 0% financing available. 4152 West Main Street in Batavia. 585-345-1108. And here you see, you saw on that graphic, championship game of the Attica Boys Tournament coming up tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Chris Metcalf on the call. Maybe Nate Ryder, but probably not. So we'll see what Chris has in store for you, and what should be a great championship game coming up between Perry and the winner of this game. The second quarter now underway. It's Tyler Strong. Looks for the give and go there, but unable to get it. Now it goes inside to Alexander Barrett with the headband. So Barrett in for the first time to Shelley with the short jumper, and that'll go. Big bucket from Bichelli, who's looking to get going here, Nate.
Yeah, if he gets going, this is going to be a completely different game. He's a terrific basketball player.
Dunbar with it, looking for room. Swings it over to Eustace. Now in Vasile's hands. Nice pass to Bean. Bichelli tried to poke it away, but now it's with Eustace. Another nice pass to Cole. Oh, good. Ooh, nice pass inside to Bichelli. Good move.
Like I said earlier, Coach Crowley said he was going to try to use his size of his guards against Letchworth's guards, and you saw it right there with Bichelli over Eustace.
Dunbar for three. A little bit long.
Look good from here.
Just a little bit long with it. First shot for Dunbar, so maybe just trying to survey the situation. Three ball from Gall. Attica in the lead.
And that's what Attica needs. Gall and Bichelli to lead the way for him. Everybody else will follow.
7-0 run for the Blue Devils to begin the second quarter. Letchworth in need of a bucket. Eustace for three. Bang. Big three from Eustace. That puts the Indians back on top.
We are definitely in for another good one tonight, Alex.
Strong with it on the wing. Up top to Gall. Ooh, nice move from Gall and a nice pass to Meyer. But no good. Attica ball. You know who Gall reminds me of, Nate? The ex-Batavia player, Ryan Hogan. Do you remember him?
I do remember Ryan Hogan.
I think he looks like him. He's got the same body type and kind of the same playing style. Bichelli inside, off-balance look. Coach Crowley thought he was fouled, but no call, and we have a jump ball going to Letchworth.
Nothing against Gall, but I do remember Ryan Hogan dunking in a game or two. I don't think Gall quite has that in his repertoire.
Could be a year away from that. Hogan has since gone on to play at Hilbert College. He's had a successful career, and that's a Letchworth turnover going back to Attica. Another turnover from Attica. That's what got them the lead, Nate. They played clean basketball for about 3-4 possessions consecutively, But you saw there another turnover. That gives Letchworth the chance to run, and that spells danger for the Blue Devils.
I'm telling you, Bean and Cole and Shearing get all the press, but this Eustace kid's he's a little pest out there. He's been all over the place.
Son of baseball and soccer coach, Coach Eustace. Foot on the... Ooh. Referee was calling that a 3, but it looked like he had his foot on the line.
I had a wire in my way. I did not see it.
And nonetheless, it was missed. Bichelle pulls up, nothing doing, looking for the foul. Thought it was a bit of a flop there. Good no call. Cole, nice pass to Shearing. Travel, though. Oh, we have a push into the travel. Shouldn't get ahead of myself. Great pass from Cole, though.
That was a nice pass between the two big men.
I was watching Elba versus Lindenville the other night, Nate, and one of the best passers in high school basketball I've seen in the last several years is Elba's Zach Marcial. Some of the passes he was making against Lindenville, just incredible.
And I believe he's still only a sophomore, correct?
I believe so. So Letchworth adds its lead with one Will Shearing free throw. But count the bucket from Gall. And Attica right back within a point.
Gall's really turned it on here in the second quarter.
This is kind of exactly how the game went last night. You had Letchworth get out to, I believe, a 6-point lead pretty early. Attica come right back and take the lead. Now Letchworth takes the lead back.
Yeah, Perry and Alexander did pretty much the same thing last night.
Yeah, it was back and forth all throughout. Shearing for 3. The big man can shoot, Nate.
I was watching him in warm-ups, and he was hitting them from out there during warm-ups, so.
Shearing may have had the play of the year for Letchworth Warsaw football. That interception of Kyler Lacarte in the sectional final against Leroy returned it all the way for a touchdown, and you see him on the basketball court. He might be a better basketball player.
I have to say that Dalton English interception, the one-handed one, was probably a better play, but you're right in terms of context.
Cole with it now. Euro step. Absorbs the contact. Coach Crowley wanted his guys to take a charge there. It was Shearing's first season of organized football this year, and he was a starter on defense and I believe offense all the way throughout the year and made his biggest play in the season's biggest game.
Yeah, you don't see that much as a senior being your first year, but Leroy had one too actually in Engler, so we had a pair of them this year.
Yeah, when you're those guys' size, I believe it doesn't matter if you played or not. Just put them out there, they'll do their work. Ian Romesser checking in for Bichelle. Under 4 minutes to go. 4-point Letchworth lead with a chance to push it to 5 here with the Cole free throw. We haven't seen one single timeout, I don't believe, yet, Nate, by either team.
Much differently than the JV game, which had about 6 timeouts in the final 50 seconds, because everybody loves to see 2-hour and 15-minute JV contests.
You got to play to win, Nate. Inside to Bukowski. Off balance, no good. I'm impressed by this Bukowski, Nate. I didn't know much about him coming into this season, but he's got good size, good athleticism, and seems to know how to play the game.
Yeah, and only a sophomore, too, so.
So we have an update from the Batavia girls game. They are trailing Greece Odyssey 21-15 at halftime.
That's rare for a Marty Hine coach team to only have 15 points at halftime.
Try to get you some more updates throughout the game. And a nice charge taken by Bukowski, showing his worth on the defensive end.
And that's just what you were saying. About a minute ago, Rob Crowley was asking for his guys to take a charge, and that's what Bukowski just did right there. Stepped right in and Drew Cole's second foul. We'll see if he sits the rest of the first half. Could be a chance for Attica to sneak their way back in this. Not that they're not in it.
We also have an update from the Batavia boys game as Gall fires up a three, but goes long. Batavia beating Greece Odyssey, the defending sectional champion, 31-26 at halftime. Odyssey coming off a win over Greece Athena, who Batavia beat last week. Or was that earlier this week? Either way, Batavia over Odyssey in boys by 5 at the half. Scores from elsewhere around the league. In Dansville, the Mustangs are up 12-6 over Bath. Cal Mumm, look at this, Nate. Cal Mumm leading York boys 23-9 at the end of the first quarter. As the free throw is good from Bryce Helmer.
Cal Mumm got off to a slow start in that Waco showcase, but that's going to be a very, very talented team, and I'd be surprised if they don't make another run at a sectional title. Attica has not scored in quite a while.
Bean with a nice take, but unable to finish. Rebounded by Romesser. And a travel.
And Rob Crowley takes a timeout.
First time out of the game. That'll allow us to bring you through our sponsors. Beginning with Nate's favorite, Windy Brew. Windy Brew, Western New York's only custom beer maker center. 21 taps in the tap room. Strikersville, New York. Visit Windy Brew today. Also, Bubba's Landscape. Bubba's Landscape. Set up your snow removal contract now for commercial and residential, accepting applications for snowplow drivers as well. Affordable floor covering in Batavia. Affordable floor covering with 30 years experience in the floor covering business. We've earned the respect of thousands of customers requiring only the best in goods and services. So Attica enduring an extended drought here. And you will see that from Coach Crowley's team. I just don't think they have enough to maintain their offensive identity, but you will see them go on streaks. They do have enough talent, I think, to hit a couple three balls, maybe get a couple transition buckets one at a time, but it's really tough for them to score in the half court.
You know, coaches always say they want their team to be better at the end of the year, but I truly believe this is going to be a team that it's going to take a little while to get rolling here. And they have some good athletes. They have some good players. I think it's...
What a great job by Bukowski there on Shearing. Goes straight up with him. Great defense. Another Bichelli turnover. Just trying to do too much out there, I think, Nate.
Yeah, I would not want to be in that locker room at halftime.
Coach Crowley, no secret to elite guard play, the third highest scorer for this Attica Blue Devil program in team history. Helmer for three. Or I'm sorry. Yes, Helmer. Bryce Helmer, 4 points now for Helmer. Shelley driving in another turnover. At some point, Nate, you may have to give him a breather. Dunbar swings it around the horn to Helmer. Had Eustace inside, but now he's doubled. And we have a timeout called by Letchworth. I think that's a good call. Maybe a foul otherwise.
Yeah, it's a smart play by Will Bean calling that timeout. He saw his player in trouble. Saved the possession.
So, Nate, knowing that we have one of our teams already punched their ticket to the finals of this tournament, who do you think in today's game is the better matchup for Perry? Who do you think Perry is looking at this game and saying, boy, we don't want to play this team.
I would have to say Letchworth because of their size, and Perry didn't have much size. Letchworth's got 4 quality starters out there that could give a matchup fit to Perry.
Great effort from the Attica fan base and the cheerleaders here tonight. Great atmosphere inside the gym. Dunbar for 3. No good. But it's rebounded by Helmer, knocked away and corralled by Tyler Meyer. Meyer looking ahead. Good give and go there, but just out of his reach. And Pearl, around the rim and out. Rebounded by Helmer and over the back called on Pearl. That was a beautiful give and go with Meyer and Kuzmano, but just a little bit out of the reach of Meyer. He wasn't able to get it in balance enough to shoot it, but he made a nice pass.
I believe that was Pearl who missed.
No. He got it to Meyer. Pearl with a nice pass. Yeah. Meyer with a nice pass to Pearl, and then Pearl missed the layup.
And as much as they're struggling, they needed that bucket. They need those inside buckets to go, and there's just a breakdown. A defensive breakdown by Attica. And Coach Crowley is not going to be pleased in 55.4 seconds.
Now, as his team now trails by 10 with under a minute to go in the first half, and Shearing heads to the line with a chance to make it 11. So 11-point lead for Letchworth, under a minute to play.
Letchworth's size really bothering Attica.
Ooh, beautiful pass from Shearing, and Bean almost converted on the layup. Attica just playing lazy on defense, I think, letting these Letchworth players buzz by them and then just throwing their hands in there instead of getting their bodies in front.
Yeah, they're going to have to regroup big time at halftime.
So Bean looking to make it 13, but he can't. And Gall with the rebound. Got to get a bucket here if you're Attica. Have some semblance of momentum going into the locker room. Looks like they'll hold for the last shot.
We saw this backfire last night when Alexander tried to do it. So
doesn't seem as much pressure being applied by Letchworth as we saw from Perry. Over to Meyer. Stops inside. One more chance. Gall comes up with it.
And that was a huge bucket there. I believe that was Gall.
Yes.
Kind of behind the backboard.
So that cuts it to a 10-point lead at the half. A little bit of momentum for Attica going into the half. And once again, we'll take you through our sponsors before we take a quick break. And you can see the Attica cheerleaders in their holiday finest in the background. So, Windy Brew, Western New York's first custom beer maker center. Don't forget the beer lover on your Christmas list. Gift cards in any denomination are available at 733 Route 20A in Strikersville, New York.
Okay, where's Strikersville so I can go get that winter brew, Hardy brew or whatever, Windy Brew?
The good thing about the recent times, Nate, is there's this thing called GPS or Google, and that's the answer to your question right there.
Just curious as to how far away I have to drive for my Windy Brew.
I wouldn't imagine that far if they're sponsoring this.
Fair enough.
So Bubba's Landscape, residential and commercial plowing is available. We have all your plowing needs at Bubba's Landscape. We do it all. Set up your snow removal contract today. We also offer shoveling and salting. And lastly, affordable floor covering. Our waterproof flooring loves pets. And here are your Attica cheerleaders. Take it away, ladies. Hello. All right. We are back with the second half of Attica versus Letchworth. A 10-point Letchworth lead at the break. Way too many turnovers for Attica in the early going, Nate. That really was the story of the first half.
Yeah, almost another one there. And when the ball's getting turned over by your best players, you're not in a good position. And I'm sure that was addressed by Coach Crowley at halftime.
Nice pass inside to Gall. Unable to convert on that layup. Letchworth with the rebound. So Vasile inside to Cole. Nice move, but can't finish. That'll give it to Bishelli, who works his way up the court. Shelley with a nice take to the basket, and he's really been the culprit of many of those turnovers, Nate, and he really hasn't had a great game in terms of scoring, but if he can start finding his way, this Attica team could make a good comeback.
And just like that, Will Bean, it's a deep one.
Yeah, that's not going to help things if you're a Blue Devil fan.
But you are correct. If arguably your best player plays as poorly as he did in the first half, and you're still only down 10.
Great look inside to Bukowski from Tyler Meyer.
You could still make a run.
Bukowski may be the most impressive Blue Devil thus far.
Yes, he has played very well, especially for a kid I honestly didn't know anything about.
Usually the case with an incoming sophomore. Takes a couple of big performances in order to get their name out there.
This is also the first time I've seen either of these teams. So.
Jimmy Cole with a take to the basket. I'm not sure how that wasn't a charge.
I don't know, it looked like it might have been a travel to begin with and then a charge, but neither was called, and they play on. And that has Rob Carley sitting down, which is something that doesn't happen very often.
Gall unable to finish on that one once again. A couple of misses inside for Gall. Really could have changed the story at the beginning of this second half. Nice block there from Nick Pearl.
Yeah, get it out of his hands before he can get it to the peak. Because if he gets up there with it with that size, you're not going to block him up there. Oh. See, that looked
Foul
like
call on
Vasile
Bishelli.
ran into Bishelli, but they're calling that one on Bishelli.
I don't disagree with you.
At
At some point, you got to let him play defense.
I mean, that looked like an offensive foul to me, if you're going to call anything. Will Bean pointing for the screen that never came.
Good block there from Gall.
You see the swarming defense they're doing on Shearing. And another
turnover
Attica
from Bishelli.
turnover.
Nice save from Vasile, but this will give Attica numbers for a brief time, but they decided to slow it down. Gall has been able to get to the basket at will. He just hasn't been able to finish. Once again.
And once again. Almost like he's looking for the foul more than going up stronger than he is.
Yeah, if you're a driver, you have to initiate that contact. Don't let that contact come to you and knock you off your track to the basket. You really have to initiate that contact, absorb it, and he's kind of letting Letchworth come into him.
Sounds like another lesson learned from Buddy Brasky.
The Buddy Brasky School of Ball.
Or life.
Bishelli, he's done a good job scoring, but otherwise it's been a tough night for Bishelli.
Attica is, like we said earlier, Attica's had their best success bringing their guards into the paint. Have their big men bring the big guys out and let their guards go against their guards down low.
Another take for Bishelli. 7-point game now. Attica starting to work their way back, and I think that's also something Attica needs to do. Get out in transition. Run on makes, run on misses.
Don't let the big guys get set up down low, and then you don't have everybody in the paint.
The seal three is no good. Rebounded by Gall. Another turnover.
That pass was a second too late. Mertzak read that one.
Looked like it could have been another turnover. Just got to make the easy pass if you're the Blue Devils. Don't try to do too much. You're only 7 points down. You don't need to get it all in one play.
No, and you have plenty of time left.
And here's Frankie Bichelli starting to heat up. And the Blue Devils are now within 5. So we'd like to thank our sponsors once again for sponsoring this. Well, it's been a great ball game, Nate, beginning with Windy Brew. Windy Brew gift cards at any denomination are available. 733 Route 20A in Strikersville. You know what, Nate? I'm going to look for you right now where Strikersville is. 27-minute drive. It is southeast of Attica.
Okay,
Make
sounds
that
good.
southwest of Attica.
Sounds good.
Near North Java. So we'd also like to thank Bubba's Landscaping, offering all of your plowing needs. Sign up for your snow removal contract today, residential and commercial available. Also, affordable floor covering. Our waterproof flooring loves pets. 4152 West Main in Batavia. So here we go. Final 4 minutes of this third quarter. 5-point game. Attica not going away quietly as they've worked their way back of 6 straight points from Frankie Bichelli. The lead was once 11 for Letchworth, now only 5. Shearing just went up and grabbed that over the top of everybody there.
Yeah, but that definitely wasn't a bad foul. Get him on the floor. Don't let him go back up with it. It's only your third foul of the half. It's not going to start worrying about fouls yet.
First foul on Bukowski, which is key. He's been guarding Shearing throughout the game, and that's another thing he's done very well, guarding Shearing without fouling. Look at that. Another great defensive play from Bukowski, and it goes off Shearing. And now the Blue Devils with a chance to cut it to a one-possession game. This Bukowski is the MVP for the Blue Devils in this game.
Yeah, especially if they somehow come back and pull this one off.
Inside to Pearl. Ooh, looked like it could have been a travel.
Left his feet.
Three ball from Basile is no good. Another basketball lesson, Nate. Never leave your feet on defense. That's the key lesson on defense. Never leave your feet on defense. What a block from Gall.
That was a heck of a block, but Basile right there to pick up the trash.
And now that I think about it, Nate, another key rule in basketball is Gall goes to the basket and gets it to fall. Another key rule, don't leave your feet on the pass.
No, not unless you know exactly where you're going with it.
So I should have used that rule instead of going to the defense one, but both are valid. But boy, this Attica team has been mighty impressive in this third quarter, and it's now only a 5-point Letchworth lead. And here comes Aiden Gall. 3-point Letchworth lead.
Looked like Will Bean was trying to be way too fancy there with the ball for a little bit.
Another Letchworth turnover. Great hustle from Bukowski. Attica with a chance to tie the game.
Coach Crowley definitely got into his team in that 10 minutes there in the locker room.
Bukowski drives. Gets stopped back out to Pearl. I'll tell you what, this fan base for Attica has really kept them in it too. They've done a great job keeping up the energy. Bukowski inside to Pearl, and they got the matchup they want. Pearl on Eustace. Attica within 1.
Now, I tell you, that's just great coaching. That's exactly how Rob Crowley drew it up. That's exactly what he wanted. Got the mismatch, and they used it. Bean trying to do everything himself, which is not what Letchworth wants.
If you're Letchworth, you got to get the ball to Shearing on every possession. You can't have a possession where Shearing doesn't touch the ball at least once. Tyler Meyer for three. No good. That would have given Attica the lead.
This crowd would have went nuts if that one would have dropped.
As if they haven't already. Three ball for Shearing. Off the back iron. Rebounded by Bichelli. And Attica will slow it up. One shot is what the Blue Devils will hold for here. 1 point game. They will try to take the lead into that fourth quarter. They have three substitutions waiting to come in if play is stopped. But the Blue Devils are looking to hold to the last shot, as you see. And they'll go as soon as it gets under 10, which it is right now. Gall with it, looking for room. Inside to Bukowski. And we have a foul on the shot. Bukowski will go to the line for two with a chance to take the lead.
See, now I thought that was the horn for the quarter going off. That was actually the shot clock. He got it off either way. So there is still 2 seconds remaining. But again, that's exactly what Rob Crowley drew up. He wanted his big guy inside with the mismatch.
First one's off from Bukowski, and it looks like Crowley will give his starters a quick break here on the defensive possession. This is a big free throw from Bukowski. Just could tie the game.
Just for the mindset of being down 10 at halftime and going into the fourth quarter tied.
Yes, big difference. Sinks it. Tie ball game. Here comes Bean. One last heave. No good. 36-36. Attica with a heck of a third quarter. And we go to the fourth, all tied up. One more time, we'll go through our sponsors. Windy Brew, Western New York's first custom beer maker center. Don't forget the beer lover on your Christmas list. Gift cards in any denomination are available. 733 Route 20A in Strikersville, which we have found out is southwest from Attica or Batavia for that matter. About a 20-30 minute drive from Attica. Bubba's Landscape, we have all your plowing needs. We'll do it all. Set up your snow removal contract today. Shoveling and salting too. Residential and commercial services are available. Bubba's Landscape in Leroy. Also affordable floor covering in Batavia, where the Batavia boys, actually they're on the road, but the Batavia boys 46-39 lead over Greece Odyssey going into the fourth quarter. That would be a big win for the Blue Devils.
Big win for the Fighting Braskies.
Our waterproof flooring and affordable floor covering in Batavia loves pets. 0% financing available. That's at 4152 West Main Street in Batavia. Contact them today. They do a great job over there. They sponsor most of our broadcasts, so we'd really like to thank Affordable Floor Covering for all they do for local high school sports. And Nate, we called it. We have another great finish on tap for you tonight. 36-36, 8 minutes to go. Who's going to come out and punch their ticket to the Attica Finals? Shearing gets Letchworth going.
We'll see how long Coach Crowley leaves some of his starters on the bench. I'm going to guess not very long.
Jumper from Strong, and he gets that one to rattle home. First points from Strong tonight, as he's been limited solely due to the size that Letchworth has inside. It's just there's no room for him to work.
He also is only a freshman, so watch out for this kid in the next couple of years.
Attica with a chance to take their first lead in quite some time, since I believe it was 15-14.
I believe you are correct, sir.
Guzmano kicks it out to Romesser with a deep three.
Oh, in and
Rattles
out. Nice
out.
rebound by Bichelli.
And here comes Bichelli, Nate. Big players make big-time plays in the second half, and he's been able to do so throughout this second half.
Giving them the lead allows Crowley to rest a couple of those starters a few, just a minute longer or so.
Shearing Kind of a flop there from Strong, and I think they've done exactly what we talked about Letchworth. They're making sure they get it to Shearing on every possession.
Yes, that's what they need to do. He's the best player on their team, and give him the ball and lose with your best guy.
3 ball from Romesser. This time, he finds the bottom of the net. Romesser gives Attica a 3-point lead. And he was right on with that one from the right wing, and he must have just said, you know what, I just need a little adjustment. Found it, knocked it down. So we have Nate struggling with the computer here.
It's your computer that keeps doing all this weird stuff, not me. It's not the user.
Operator error, as they say. Shearing makes the first. That cuts it down to a 2-point Attica lead.
I believe I heard a chicken balk from the Attica crowd on that one.
And I don't know what that was. Shearing gets that to rattle in. 1-point game now.
They both hit the entire rim and backboard, but nonetheless, they both went in.
Ooh, looks like we had a little elbow to the face there. Inadvertent. If this were college basketball, Nate, that might be...
You'd go to the monitor.
Yeah, that might be an ejection.
You would go to the monitor.
Thank God we're not going to the monitor tonight. Inside to Bichelli. It's a matchup they want, but it's unable to convert, and that one will go to Letchworth.
That was a difficult shot. That was actually real good defense by Bean there. He held his ground and kind of made Bichelli go off balance.
So who's going to come out with this one, Nate? Who's going to assert their will down the stretch and come out with this 1-point game with 5 minutes to go? Great hustle from Bukowski, and we have a timeout called by Attica. As you saw the official in the corner of the screen, as I forgot to rotate the camera, comes sprinting in. And Attica calls for a timeout. So Nate, as you take a swig of your Mountain Dew here, what is the key to the last 5 minutes of the game? What is going to turn the tide for either side? Whoever you think is going to turn the tide, what do you think is going to be the X factor?
Well, you've seen both teams adjust. You've seen Attica try to use their guards to get down low, and you haven't seen Eustace, the smallest kid on the floor, out there very much here in the second half. Letchworth switched up defenses, whereas now Attica is collapsing on the inside, letting Will Bean and some of these guys shoot from the outside. They haven't connected. I think if they hit one of those, it's going to open things up more down low. But I think Attica's just got to keep doing what it's doing. Get those guards down low and try to use that mismatch.
Attica's played almost their entire bench here tonight, as has Letchworth. So foul trouble I don't think will be an issue unless it comes from Shearing, Bichelli, or Gall, or Bukowski for that matter. Whoa, what a nice hanging bucket there from Bichelli. He has come on strong in the second half.
As poor as he played in the first half, that's as good as he's played in the second half.
Cole. Great job by Bukowski getting in position for the charge. He is as valuable as it gets for Coach Rob Crowley.
And we've mentioned him all night, and it looks like you're going to have to remember this kid's name all year long.
And for the next 2 years, for that matter.
This is true.
This kid's only going to get better.
Let's see if he puts a little more muscle. He looks like he's a pretty big boy to begin with, but get a little more muscle on him. He could be real tough in the GR. Little press here from Letchworth for the first time tonight.
I think that's a good call from Coach Jeff Hopkins. When you've seen Attica struggle in this game, it's been against that pressure on-ball defense. they've just thrown it away time and time again. So I think that's exactly what you need to do if you're Letchworth. Kind of amp up that pressure, force some mistakes from the Blue Devils.
You're right. Attica's kind of settled in here offensively, and
right there, you saw a little pressure there. And Bichelli, his first turnover in quite some time. All of his turnovers have came trying to force it inside. I don't think they need to do that. Jimmy Cole with his first bucket in quite some time.
He's been quiet tonight.
Yes, and he's a player for them. We'll see if he can come along down the stretch. Another turnover from Attica. This is what you can't have. This is what led to your big deficit at the half.
Surprised Coach Crowley didn't take a timeout there. 2 turnovers in a row, and not good ones either. Not that there is a good turnover, but you know what I mean.
Cole looking to assert his will. Looked like another charge was taken, but they don't give it to him. Cole with a couple tries doesn't go in. Now, Nate, you have to wonder why the last one's a charge and that one's not. I think just sometimes officials get tired of calling charges. And I mean, if a charge is a charge, it's a charge.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact down there, and not exactly sure what was called a foul. It looked like a jump ball to me, so no harm, no foul as of yet.
You see that often. You rarely see charges called time after time after time because it's a controversial call, and sometimes referees just get timid calling. But you see Vasile with the layup, and that gives Letchworth the lead back once again. 3:25 to play, 1 point Indians lead. Attica starting to turn it over as they did in the first half. See if they can settle things down and get a much-needed bucket.
A lot more ball pressure by Letchworth here the last minute or so.
Yep. Good call. Not a smart reach in there. So here's Meyer bringing it up to Bichelli. Nice pass to Strong, but he fumbles it.
Little low.
Another behind-the-back pass from Attica. This one also errant. I think we saw one earlier in the game from Attica. It didn't go well, and that one didn't go very well either.
Again, this has been a sloppy last minute and a half. I'm really surprised Coach Crowley hasn't called a timeout.
But at the same time, in a one-point game, you really kind of want to save those timeouts for that final minute. So I agree with you, but it's a tough debate that a head coach has to go through at the end of a game. Oh, and a nice block from Shearing, but looked like a lot of body contact there.
It's a nice play set up there by Attica, but you're right, a nice block, and I don't think there was enough there to call the foul.
Meyer inside pass to Gall. Could have been turned over again, but Attica will maintain possession. Around the horn, but back to Meyer. Looked like he had space, but instead. Oh, great pass from Gall inside to Nick Curl. Attica back in the lead.
And that's why you keep those timeouts. You make a great inbounds play, or play off. It wasn't directly an inbounds play, but play right off of that inbound.
Great pass there from Gall. Letchworth slowing it down as they like to do. But with time under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, they will have to go here soon. Shearing with it. 3 ball is no good. Rebounded by Attica. Under 2 minutes to play. Blue Devils lead by 1. Meyer turns.
Oh.
Rebounded by Strong. Not high enough off the glass.
It was a nice rebound, just kind of faded away a little too much there on the shot.
Jimmy Cole sprinting ahead. And he gets it to Shearing. Back to Cole. Looking to drive.
That's got to be a travel. How do you not call that? It was clearly 3 steps, and they don't call a travel.
Attica with a chance to extend its lead. Time ticking near a
And a
minute, but they turn it over. I'd like to see Attica slow things down there instead of trying to rush things as they did. And we have a timeout called by Letchworth, head coach Jeff Hopkins. And before we break down what's coming out of the timeout, we're going to go to our ads one more time. Beginning with Windy Brew. Windy Brew, Nate's favorite beer store in Western New York because it's a custom beer maker center where you can customize your favorite beer.
And a hop, skip, and a jump to Strikersville.
Only a 30-minute drive from Attica, about 45 minutes from Batavia. Make sure you stop by Windy Brew for all of your holiday shopping needs. Bubba's Landscape, we have all your plowing needs. We do it all. Set up your snow removal contract today. Residential and commercial services now available. 768-6578. Also, affordable floor covering, 4152 West Main Street in Batavia, 345-1108. Closed on Sundays, open every other day of the week. Our waterproof flooring loves pets. It's affordable floor covering. Now, Nate, Letchworth ball, minute 12 to go. You think they get the ball to Shearing here? I'm sure you do. If so, where do they get him the ball? Inside, outside?
Well, they've actually been going to Jimmy Cole a lot recently, so, and he's been doing well getting to the bucket. I would like to see a little drive and get maybe Shearing in the short corner and let him do his stuff because obviously he's going to be hounded down there.
They inbound it to Shearing. Screen for Cole. Then they look inside to Shearing. Great play design there from Coach Hopkins. A little misdirection. You have Cole popping out. And I think Bukowski let Shearing go for just a half second. And that allowed him to get that catch in that bucket.
Yeah, he was in great position there.
But Bukowski comes right back and says, if you're what you can do, I can do better. But maybe not that much better because he's going to have to knock down these 2 free throws in order to give Attica back the lead with 50 seconds to go.
And Attica has struggled a little bit at the free throw line tonight, so that might not be a bad foul.
Bukowski, 1 for 3 from the line now. It seems to have a line drive shot. Needs a little bit more arc on that free throw. Kind of a line drive at the back of the iron. We'll see if he can get it here. Gets the arc on that one, and it's good. Under a minute to go. Tie ball game. What a game this has been.
2 great games here in Attica. What a tournament.
Oh, great look inside from Cole. Count it! Will Shearing celebrates, and what a great find from Jimmy Cole as Letchworth with a chance to take a 3-point lead with 26 seconds to go.
I was a play behind, a possession behind, but that's what I said. Cole had been getting it a lot, getting in the inside. They collapsed on Cole. He found Shearing.
What a great pass, too.
Well, sometimes I almost think I know what I'm talking about.
Other times I think you have no idea.
Very true.
But Shearing puts Letchworth ahead by 3. Attica sprints it into the front court, and they'll call for a timeout. What is going to happen in this one, Nate? Now, if you're head coach Rob Crowley, you haven't had an overwhelming amount of success shooting the 3 ball, so you have to think maybe get a quick 2 and play the foul game, because I don't know if you really want to rely on a 3 and then give them a chance with a foul to make it a 2-possession game.
No, with 23.7, and like you said, off the top of my head, I think they made 2 threes tonight, maybe. So, yeah, I think you're correct. I think try to get the quick 2. Maybe get one of your guards to, see if he can get by somebody. But maybe like we saw last night. We saw Alexander get the drive, or one of them get the drive, and got the foul, made it a 3-point play. But I agree. Go for the quick 2 and then try to foul and, Because if you get that quick 2, even if they make both free throws, then you can go back to try a three-pointer.
So here we go, Nate. Play of the game coming up. Attica down 3, 23 to go.
And they tried for that quick 2, Alex.
This time they get it back out. Crowley shouting at his team to go, go, go. His time is ticking down, under 10 minutes. Tyler Meyer stops, pops. What a big shot from Tyler Meyer. 7 seconds to go. That makes it a 1-point game. And they didn't get the quick 2, Nate. But boy, that's a big shot. 1-point game. Now you foul, and you still have a chance to tie it, no matter if they make one or both of the free throws.
Well, if you have a defense set up for a steal that you think's the best one you have, you got to use it now. Because 7 seconds in high school basketball actually isn't that much time, so you got to go for a steal, I think, here, and maybe a trap and a steal. See if you could force Letchworth into a mistake.
What an atmosphere inside this gym, Nate. 1-point game, 7 seconds to go. Crowd into it. Couldn't have asked for anything more on a Friday night of high school basketball.
Yeah, let's not gloss over that shot by Tyler Meyer. That was a huge shot by one of only 2 seniors on this team. So no matter what happens, that's a huge jumper because that was contested.
So now Letchworth will have to inbound. Who will they look to get the ball to here? I believe it'll be Shearing. But instead, they lob it over the top to Cole, and he's got room to the basket. 3-point game. Clock continuing to wind. 3 seconds to go. Bishelli for 3. Short. Letchworth wins it by 1, by 3.
Bishelli had a good look. I think he rushed it a little more than he had to. He actually had a wide open look, but that was a great inbounds play. Drew up there by Jeff Hopkins and got the big man down by himself running free, and he made the layup, and that was about it.
What a ball game
Heck
here
of a ball game, though.
for both teams. I mean, just incredible effort from both Letchworth and Attica. Seemed like Letchworth was going to run away with this one, but Attica came storming back, took the lead, and then a back-and-forth game down the stretch eventually goes Letchworth's way. And there's no moral victories, I'm sure, for head coach Rob Crowley, but if there's anything that's close to being a moral victory, tonight was that.
Well, yeah, especially after the way they played in the first half with the abundance of turnovers. They only had 19 points at halftime. They stormed out of the locker room. You know, they didn't quit. They, you know, like I said, they even had a shot there at the end to tie it up, and you know, Bishelli just rushed it a little bip, and he probably makes that in practice 7 out of 10 times. But you're right. That's a great win for Letchworth, though. That's a gritty win by a Letchworth team that wouldn't have won that game the last few years. So good for them, and should be a heck of a championship game.
So look ahead for that championship game tomorrow night, 7 p.m. here at Attica High School between Perry and Letchworth, 2 Livingston Conference opponents going up against one another. And if these first 2 games are any sign, we're in for another great one tomorrow night. So thank you for tuning in here tonight. Alex Brasky alongside Nate Ryder, live from Attica High School.
Baba Booey!
For the Batavia Daily News, signing off. We'll see you tomorrow night.